Yes, it is. It is the DPB show here on Sundays from 1 to 3 at Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal. I want to address just so many legal issues that are going on right now. And especially when you look at the system that we're in, it appears my show is deemed, exposing corruption, right? And we tend towards corruption as being the way of business here in Illinois. We see that year after year after year. We not only at the state level but the federal level, and corruption. We are in a corrupt system, and can a corrupt system truly bring itself to justice? And that's why I've got our next guest. You know him; he's a frequent contributor here. You hear him on constitutional sound bites, hence the whole banner behind him. If you're joining us on the Facebook Live, if you're joining us on air, you can't see that he has this nice banner of George Washington with headphones on that talk about constitutional sound bites. That is former lieutenant governor candidate, attorney. He's been on the front lines fighting election integrity, and that is our friend David Shestokas. David, thanks for joining us here at Cities 92.9 on the DPB show.
Thanks so much, David. It's great to be with you. It's great to be part of your new technology. I don't know exactly how long you've been doing this, where you've got video as well as audio. I've always enjoyed. I've been in the studio with you before, and it's great to see you guys moving along and broadening the opportunities for folks to participate and really enjoy the kind of content that you and Cities 92.9 have available for them.
Well, even if it was a year, David, I still wouldn't be up to speed yet. But it's only been a few weeks that we've been doing it. So it's going to take me some time.
That's exciting. You mentioned George Washington behind me. Actually, he's on the cover of one of my books. This is a cover of one of the books, but that book actually is the Spanish edition. It's Cápsulas Informativas Constitucionales. The book in Spanish in the entire world that explains the founding documents of the United States of America. It's crazy. We have 30 million, 35 million people, actual citizens, who are more comfortable in Spanish than in English, because it's one thing to be able to be bilingual, but it's another thing to get important concepts like life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, la vida, la libertad y búsqueda de felicidad, to understand that in your native language, in the language you understand the best, and so myself and Dr. Arias, who was a Cuban immigrant herself, got a PhD in languages, taught school up here in Joliet Junior College. We worked for several years to make available to the Spanish-speaking community an explanation in their language, the language that they don't have English. I mean,
you're cutting out a little bit, just so you know.
Hold on. Yeah. Hold on for a sec. You're cutting out just a little bit, David.
My granddaughter just sent me a text, and the text that came in
interrupted. Granddaughter, no interrupting grandpa in studio with, well, he's not in studio, but yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. So, David, how long has the Spanish edition been out?
About 4 or 5 years now.
Okay.
Are using it to teach English as a second language in some charter schools in New Mexico, which we're very, very proud of. But it has not gotten the traction that we would hope that it might get.
Well, let's get it some traction. You know what? Hey, David, because my guest on this on the DPB show last week was Ray Estrada. Have you met Ray yet?
No, I have not.
Do you know who Ray Estrada is?
No, sir, I do not. Ray
has announced from Knox County that he will be seeking the congressional seat of the 17th district. Okay. So he was the first one to announce that seat is currently held by Eric Sorensen. He won that in the last general election. But Ray is a dynamic human being. You need to go out to Ray Estrada for Congress. He was born in Nicaragua. He came here at 12 years of age. He also is an auxiliary sheriff in Knox County. He has a international food relief program, so he's an NGO. He works with the UN. He is very respected in Washington, D.C., superhuman being, but he talks about the need for this, the understanding of the migrant, the immigrant who's come to Illinois, and how unversed they are in the American way.
I'm one of the reasons. There was a couple of reasons that got me involved in doing this particular project, but one of them had to do with I've studied some Spanish. I did some immersion programs in Costa Rica, and I studied some in Cuba. And I was looking at a couple of things. The first article of the Mexican Constitution starts with the people of the United States of Mexico, which is what their official name is. It's the United States of Mexico, shall have the rights as guaranteed by this Constitution, except as hereinafter provided. That is, you'll have the rights the government gives you unless we decide to change our mind, which is an entirely different place to approach things than, of course, we start out with, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they're endowed by their creator with rights, and that governments are instituted to secure those rights. That's a completely turned around place from which to approach government. And that's one of the reasons I thought it was so important to make this available in Spanish, to explain to folks the difference. Folks don't understand when we have these people come from other countries. They do come from a different mind. There's a different mindset, or they've been taught something different. And so it's incumbent upon us to let them know that no, this is what being an American is about. This is the beliefs that Americans hold, and generally speaking, it's well received.